Hello, welcome to CastCon. I'm William, Labinnak Cosplay, and with me I have...
Hi, I'm Casey, or not Labinnak, from Labinnak Mangoloo Cosplays.
the Mangoloo hat.
That's me, yeah.
You're very famous for your Labinnak cosplay, among many other cosplays, but as you were seeing one of the... How many variations of Ruby?
I think I have like 13 now, and I'm making like 2 more with the summer.
When did you start cosplay?
I started cosplaying like 5 years ago, and actually, funny story, like my friends peer pressured me.
Really?
Yeah, they peer pressured me into coming to this con. But, like, they were like, yeah, this is great con, that's in Baltimore, and a lot of people go and they dress up, and like, I was like, that sounds really nerdy.
I mean, admittedly it is.
It is, but like I went and I just like saw all the beautiful costumes. I just like fell in love with it. I was like hooked so hard. And now I remember it.
So during that first year of cosplaying, what was your motivation behind it? What kept you going for those first few cons?
For the first few times, it was more like there was a lot of different characters that I really loved and aspired to be like. Like, for instance, the very first build that I made completely from scratch was the Nightingale from Skyrim. And Skyrim was like my love. Like, I spent an entire year like just playing Skyrim. Like, I was that crazy girl who like would name the house because I was always playing Skyrim. So that one year I decided that for my very first cosplay I was going to make armor. So I did the Nightingale set.
Like you do.
Because I'm crazy, and I pulled it off, and it was a really proud moment because it was my first film, and I saw something that I loved so much become reality, and that just inspired me to just keep doing that.
I think it really shows because you took the time to recreate it later on with your new skills that you have today.
Oh yeah, because like you definitely like when you're like as you go on with cosplay, you learn new skills. Like I actually went to school and I took sewing classes. I worked at a costume shop, so of course I learned how to sew better. I learned about materials, so I wanted to go back and revamp my very first costume. I did. Well, maybe.
What's your motivation now as you cosplay in contrast to when you started?
I think it's still very similar to the beginning. Like, it's still taking characters that I love so much and bringing them to life. But to add on to that, like, I really enjoy cosplays. So for instance, like, if I see something that's like, this is very complicated, I want to challenge myself to see if I can make my own version of it. Like, for instance, I've done a costume and instead of doing it like the plain like stuff, I wanted to challenge myself to make it look like nice silks, fabrics. I work with time, kind of like put my
right
to see like how I can break in my character differently.
So, was being quote-unquote cos-famous ever a goal of yours?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was a goal. Like, to be honest with you, like, when I first started, like, my definition for cos-fame has changed dramatically, like, throughout the years, because at first, like, when I first started, like, I thought that to be famous you had to have, like, 1,000 followers.
Right.
But then I hit, like, 1,000 followers, and I'm like, I don't feel famous. And now I'm sitting at, like, 22,000 followers, and I still don't feel famous. I'm like, well, maybe if I hit 30,000, I'll be famous. And I was like, But, like, it's more so, like, about my community. Like, that's what's important to me. Like, I don't care if I have, like, 100,000 followers. Like, what matters is that my community is age and
Absolutely. What changed, as you're like planning out your weekend and going day to day? What's changed from when you started planning out your weekend to now to a new challenge?
Okay, so what changed with my planning? Well, I know, like, back then, I'm still very nervous, but, like, I didn't really think about my health the same way that I do now. Like, I know, like, casting countries make things really for casting time. And a lot of people, like, put their health aside for costumes. I don't do that, like, anymore. Like, I used to be like, oh, to stay up all night, the costume, like it has to be done, or I'm not wearing it at all.
There's a important statement made by Jessica Negri last year at CastCon, where she straight up decided not to go to CastCon because she was stressed out and she was too involved in her work. And she took, just the weekend off to help herself with mental health,
Exactly.
It's really important.
Yeah, like you have to like be careful about your health. Like it's important. Like that's what you're like you shouldn't let a costume like compromise you. So I think it's more about like having fun. Like you shouldn't let your costume like stress you out to the point where cosplay is not fun. Cosplay is like first and foremost about having fun.
What's something that's hard to do now that was relatively easy to do when you first started cosplaying?
Cosplay in general, actually, because my expectations for myself have gone up. Like, I remember in the past, I used to crank out costumes like a day, or like 2 days. But like the downside of that was my quality was really low, but that was because I was still working.
And now you have expectations.
I had expectations. So
you kind of miss that a little bit, not having expectations, or do you like expectations?
Yes and no. Like I miss how quick I can get things done. but like I like seeing myself achieve like new skills and like some art costumes, and like I really like how I do details and stuff. Like I like art. I like to see my skill get better.
Kind of following that line of logic, obviously, there's some hard points to having that kind of pressure and expectations, but I'm sure there's plenty of benefits to having a really awesome community who's all about you and your cosplay. What's some of the best benefits of having these?
Oh my gosh, I love my community like so much. Like really go to Can House, I love them. I have to have like a Discord like where I can actually talk to them and get to know them. Like it's really nice to Discord them and like not have to just like interact with them with Instagram. Really difficult. So I think that's definitely like my favorite. Plus like meeting them in person at times. Personally, like I love making people's day. So if I know that they like my work a lot, like I like to like be like, hey, you look really cute today. Let's get a selfie. I'm gonna shout you out on my page, get attention to your cosplay.
You have to be a little bit crazy to do it.
Yeah, seriously.
Where do you see yourself going from here? You had lots of goals, I'm sure, that you might be getting, and my guess would be you exceeded many of them. From today, what do you have to look forward to? What do you hope to accomplish in the next coming years?
I have a lot of monster cosplay. I think I'm like, instead of just doing like designs that like are I'm trying to do more digital, so doing way more clothing.
Right.
It's a lot more fun and gives me a lot more creativity.
What would you have to say for a cosplayer who's just starting out, who looks up to you as someone who, in their eyes, whether it's in your eyes or not, is cos-famous and really looks up to you? What would you say to them about starting in cosplay?
My best advice is don't be afraid to be new, because everybody has to be new at some time. Like if it's your first time working with a sewing machine, just do it. Just start. Like I know starting can be like the hardest part, but like if you get past that and just work at it, like I mean you can only get better from there.
Absolutely.
So like don't be scared. And plus the community too. So like if you have questions, like there are tutorials out there. There are other cosplayers who want to help you. So please message me. I will help you.
Well, that all being said, thank you for having us here. Why don't you tell the people where they can find your stuff?
Hi, you can find me on Instagram at Labinnak, handle spelled backwards with a K. Facebook, I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter.
You also have a Patreon. So
oh yeah, I got a Patreon. I like always realize I have to have a Patreon now. Support me on Patreon.
Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great CastCon and stay around. Hello and welcome to CastCon once again. I have with me FullHealthCosplay, also known as Shane. Or the real Slim Shady, if you want to go by my rap name. That's awesome. He is well known for his Genos cosplay with the mechanical arm that you printed. Very, very impressive. And recently he put like smoke into it. That went viral. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, that went crazy. I got to animate what I see. We had a lot of fun doing that, and it was the first time. I worked in Genos for about 3 years at that point. I did mechanical arms always got a lot of attention, but as soon as I added that smoke effect, it was just fun. So when did you start cosplaying? That's a good question. I started cosplaying back at Anime Boss in 2013, I want to guess. My first cosplay was Nicholas Topical from Trigun, actually the fashion stampede right over here. And it was incredibly impromptu. There was no wig involved. I just grabbed a blue suit out of my closet, made a big cross, took my best shoe off, my mom getting pissed, and so I went to Anime Boss and I fell in love with it. Following that, I did shadowing, which was actually how I met my girlfriend Jane. And then eventually my passion project for about 2 years picked up, and Genos became a thing. What was your motivation starting in those first couple years? Well, like, what was the biggest thing that was your drive? Fortunately for me, the same drive that started this has been what's gone through the entire time. Has been meeting people and meeting just the most fun possible people. When I was Nicholas Topical, I had some really fun friends who I still have today. When I was shadowing, I got a lot more so I got very involved with talking to people, how did they do it, talking shop, meeting a lot of friends that way. And then when I did Genos, that just explored even further. So that was great fun. Was ever like being famous in cosplay or both when you started cosplaying? So yes and no in a way. I always wanted to kind of be popular, but not really for any money reason or for any monetary or ego gain, I guess. I did a lot of it for just meeting more and more people. The more people I reached out to, the more people I became famous to know or want to become famous, the more interesting people have to be. Yeah. I mean, there kind of is a bit of a hierarchy in cosplay. It's like you order to talk to famous people, so at the same time, it was just fun to reach out to more people, meet more friends. I mean, all the friends I have here today with me are ones I've met through cosplay. So. What's your schedule like when, planning out the weekend of the con? How's that changed from when you started to where you are now? Has, popularity changed about how you go about that? Not really. Well, for me, I only really have 2 costumes at the moment. It took me about 3 years to make Genos. A long time to make it. Yeah, a long time to make that. But I have tried to do is get new costumes. I'm wearing 9S today, styled by Drifting by Stars. I didn't recognize you at first. It was so I know, it's incredibly different from me. Everyone knows me such a different style. But I really wanted to start getting into costumes and things and start to push with new items. At the same time, I did try to put together a group for this con with the old Labinnak script. Kind of a little bit of a last rock before I get a brand new Genos, actually. That will be unveiled in May of this year. That's really fun. Do you find that there's anything that you were doing before that's now a little bit hard to do now that yes and no. So part of it is that I was always really happy to make more friends by just being reasonable, being really like, hey, I got $1,000, come talk to me, and anyone can approach me. There was no harm in it. Now having a high number, people kind of they get nervous, they get scared of it, and sometimes people message me and just be like full of apologies, saying like, I'm sorry, am I bothering you? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, please, I'm still a regular guy. I love talking to people. I love talking to shop with everybody. So, yeah, that's been one big trick to it, is doing that. That being said, even though it can be weird sometimes, what's some of the best benefits of having a community? The best part of having a bit of a community is now I have a growing circle of friends. I'm the kind of person where you are my friend until you prove otherwise. Very so by default, you come in the door, you're my friend. Having, I guess, a growing following, one that kind of blew up pretty quickly, is all of a sudden I had a bunch of people who were incredibly talented or reached out for assistance or reached out to do this. And it made me happy in the same respect that I could bring in some of the aspects of what I did for cosplaying, like printing, smoke things that other people were inspired by it and wanted to do more of it. So having more people that I talk to, bounce ideas off of, all around chat, was probably the best benefit. Are you seeing yourself yourself going from here? I'm sure you had goals when you started out cosplay. What are your goals right now?
To be honest, today is just a day to be back at Coscast. Like, I honestly I've been playing past Sunday. I don't even know what I'm doing, but part of it is to start getting cosplays out of line. I did gyms for like 3 years. So it became a lot of stuff. If you ever see my Instagram page, it is just gym.
Are you almost trying to break from that mold that is that cosplay?
That cosplay itself, but I still want to stick with some style. I do have kind of a skill set that means I'm very good at electronics and very good at 3D printing. Not the best at fabric. Fortunately, I had a friend who made this for me. A very good friend of ours by the name of Sarah King. So I want to learn new skills at the same time. I want to learn to sew, I want to learn better makeup, and I want to push into incredibly more skills that I already have. Mechatronic cosplays, I want to make Titan cosplays, big ones. I want to make an Iron Man suit like Fallout 4. You can step out of the back of the power armor. I want to do Iron Man, you step out the front. So I think that would be so much fun.
Dude, if you could pull that off, that would be legendary.
I have a working design, but it's going to cost me way too much money.
Well, I mean, granted, it did take you a few years to do justice. So this feels no longer, you know?
Yeah, this is another like 5-year back burner. Eventually it'll get there. Hopefully my body should just change them up. Multiple armor. But yeah, that's about where I see this going.
So for everyone who's looking up to you and would deem yourself, whether you deem yourself the most famous or not, people who look up to you, what would you say to them as they're starting cosplay in retrospect?
So the biggest mistakes I ever made in cosplay were bad time. If you can sit there and say, it's going to take you a week to do it, it's going to take 3. Because you're going to fail, it's going to cost you more money, it's going to break, it's going to take 100 tries before you finally learn. So be ready for trial and error. Be ready to learn from your mistakes, be ready for every last little bit of crushing defeat. Because even these black boxes, perfect example. I got a hinge right on these, and I kind of had to just make do with what I had. So I learned from it. Even if I make mistakes, I'm going to go home and redesign this thing, and it's going to be back and better than ever. So
that's the whole point about getting better and better, and you have to just do it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this design kind of slapped together really quick, and I learned more about it, and I learned from every little mistake I made. I mean, I've broken gems more times than I did.
It's true.
Oh, man.
So, thanks for joining us, man. Where can people find you if they're looking to follow and support you?
I guess my Instagram, @FullHealthCosplay, or on Facebook, but I don't really check my Facebook, because, I'm also on Twitter, but I don't also check my Twitter. So basically, Instagram, @FullHealthCosplay. Yeah, that's the place to be.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I hope you have a great Cathercon.
You as well.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Hello, we're at Cathercon once again, and today I have
StarSplat.
and we're going to be talking about some stuff. But first off, why don't you introduce yourself? When did you start cosplaying?
I started cosplaying in, I think, 2014 or 2015. I haven't stopped since. I'm Geek Stars, and I go by StarSplat.
When you started cosplaying, what was your motivation and the thought process of why you're doing this? What compelled you to do this and kept you going for those first times?
Actually, it was really funny. I was not peer pressured, but I really didn't want to be left out of my friend group. And I actually didn't think that anime was really cool, so all my friends started watching anime, and I was like, I guess I'll watch like Death Note or like SMA, and as soon as I watched anime, I knew that I loved this stuff. So I got my first sewing machine together, and it was my birthday or Christmas, and I was really nervous about starting because money was my birthday. 14, and I didn't have a job, so I didn't get allowance or anything. So I was really nervous about it, because I overspent. You know, the first month, you spend all the money on merch, because you've never seen merchandise before, like in front of your own shop. It was all, so I actually almost backed out professionally entirely after going to my first 2, but then after I made my first costume, it was like, I absolutely fell in love with the construction. So now I prioritize like making things and hanging out with my friends. Yeah. More fun experience.
Exactly. I can roll into my next thing being, has your motivation changed today compared to when you started out?
Yeah. My motivation has stayed the same in the sense that there is passion in the videos. But on top of that, like, when I was 15, I really didn't think that I would ever have access to it. Or I'd have access to certain that I have access to cosplay, and over that time where I experienced the wearable, that's when I started like thinking creatively, like creating.
When you start out cosplaying, did you ever think this is something I want to do? Did you ever thought that crossed your mind or something that was a goal for you?
It crossed my mind when I was 10. And that was probably 5 years ago. Because my friend group,
Yeah.
we watch their videos day in and day out. We want to do shows like them because people looked up to them. And I think I fell more in love with people who ask for help, who like come to me as a talk, than actually getting attention. Like that.
Yeah. When you cosplay, when you started cosplaying, what was your scheduling like planning-wise? Like how you go about at a weekend with con versus now? Has gaining community and being a cosplayer for so long changed how you go about weekends at a cosplay?
It actually changed everything about my life, especially socially. So beforehand, I would go and have the dates set up with my friends. But now that we're all in university, London is a huge one, and you're staying at hotels with different people, like sushi groups, and then you back and forth. And if you're in New Jersey, like me, and you went to New York, you're going to have different and you're going to be bouncing in between all of us, up in the air, just extra high.
When you're cosplaying now compared to when you started, what's harder to do now? Like things that are different. Why did it easy to start with, but now you find very difficult to accomplish now that you've been doing this so long and you've been
I think it's difficult to find like huge because at first when I didn't have before even this, I was just like fun of hanging out with my friends, and then there was that little like period of time which I was between 0 and 1 followers, where I was trying so hard to get followers, and I feel like that messes if you're young like that, can manipulate your mentality of useless. And then later, hopefully, you reach a place where numbers don't matter. Confidence is something that
a lot of people, they can get caught up in expectations because that's the most common thing that's changed. They make it work whether they continue cosplaying, depending on how long they let that take. Where do you see yourself going from there? Okay, sorry, backtrack. I got a really big question. So yeah, there are some things that's harder, but there also is some different things. So what are the best things about creating community in cosplay now?
Definitely friends. To be honest, like I was so socially awkward. Like I was like an actual like when I was a freshman in high school, and since I went to my first convention, that's when I started learning socializing and realizing that probably just as it's really fun, like just go on your Instagram story and like scream the brand, like really don't matter.
Absolutely, we're a wonderful group of weird people.
Yeah, I love that.
So, I'm sure you have tons looking to cosplay, and that those will always change, becoming bigger and better things. What do you got going on now as far as people are concerned? What kind of
Well, future definitely. I really want to actually go further with my content. I actually started making a portfolio, and it's like a total type to work as a blogger. So when I started designing art, that's when I started really thinking like, so I plan on doing Belle this summer from Disney, and then and I plan on doing hopefully getting
As we're looking back at goals from now, what would you say to a cosplayer who looks up to you as a cosplayer? What would you tell them as they're starting to get into cosplay and starting to build a community and following? What would you tell them? How would you know that when they're going
First off, I would tell them to definitely not look up to me. Definitely, do as I say and not as I do. Yeah, I'm terrible because I'm always like, you should live your best life, but I'm there cramming all of my homework that I want to make sure that I anyway. It's not the best lifestyle, but definitely some great advice. I think I could tell every cosplayer, basically, especially for strength. That was something that was so good. But because I cared so much about cosplaying and I wanted to be organized, it changed me into an incredibly organized person. Where everything in my room is, unless I'm cos crunching.
Yeah, it's true. All out the window when you're cos crunching.
All winter break, my room is an actual pigsty. My cat will go sleep in a bushel or otherwise, after the con, I can clean up my room and it's totally fine. Being organized is something that I would definitely care about, especially because there's always things feeding, shifting, and then I'm just this is the worst thing for me.
Always order ahead of time. Don't rely on prime shipping.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us. Where can people find and support you?
Well, I'm on Instagram as @StarSplat. I'm on Twitter as @MrPrice. And I think, I'm also on YouTube for StarSplat.
Yeah, check out her videos. She's got some wonderful videos.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.